Hello everyone, welcome back to another commands tutorial video, and today we'll be looking at Custom Boss 2. And our custom boss today will be the Chicken Jockey. Sorry, that's not the greatest impression. So let's get right into it. So let's check the boss. I suck at PvP. Got my crafting table. Ah. So at each stage, of life it drops an item, as I'm going to show you in a second. So at each phase, you drop the crafting table, but it went to him, which you can fix that if you want to. That's just the way I had it, is it drops on the ground, because that might provide more of a challenge, but if you want to, you can just / give it to the player and it'll go into their and then kill him, and then he drops the crafting table, and I am given the flint and steel. Or sorry, let me try that again. Flint and steel! First off, we have the pillagers, which you might have not noticed, but they follow me everywhere I go, which is pretty creepy, but it's necessary for the effect of how the movie was. So this is also did this stop sound command, so they would go every second. So it's just very simple. Stop sound at a mob.vindicator.idle. Pretty simple. We don't need to go over that one much. And then this one is execute as at E, type equals vindicator at S, run TP at S, facing at P, true. That's just telling the face of the player. And yeah. And then this is the spawning mechanic, which apparently doesn't work 100% of the time, but I tested it quite well, and I don't know why it spawned 2 of them. But basically, let me go to this teleport mechanism. That'll make more sense. So first, it sets this player's scoreboard, or sorry, sets the score of fight at 1, and then it TPs you to the arena. Every time I get in with a radius of 20, with the scoreboard over here of fight 1, then this will start. You can also do a tag if you want to. You can have the tag of fight, or you can name whatever you want, as long as it's the same in this command. But basically, if someone has the tag, or sorry, in this case, the scoreboard of value of 1, and they're with a radius of 20, then unless the entity name equals chicken jockey, run structure load chicken jockey 2 blocks above the command block. So basically saying if there's already a chicken jockey, don't spawn, but apparently that didn't work. But it's mostly reliable. You can use the button if you want to, with a cooldown, of course. And then this is execute at a scores equals fight 1 if entity at a name equals chicken jockey, or sorry, chicken jockey, radius of 20, run scoreboard, player set it a fight 1 to fight 0. So basically, if the chicken jockey is already in the arena, it will set your score to 0, so it doesn't spawn an infinite number of them. And then this is the leave arena command, execute unless entity name equals chicken jockey, radius of 20, run TP at a radius of 10, score equals fight 0. So that's once they've beaten it. I think, let me just check that really quickly. Yeah, it doesn't work unless you kill it. Just making sure. It's been a while since I did these commands. Okay. Now, this is the more complicated part, or actually, no, I'll get to the easier part. So first, this is the very most simple part. This is the fire res. It gives the effect to name, effect at E, name equals chicken jockey, fire underscore resistance, infinite 1 true, and the part that says true is to turn off particles, as you can see if I do this. Infinite, amplifier 1, hide particles true. So that's just the hide particles boolean, and that just hides the particles as it says it does. And then this is structure named JOCKEY, and it is a 1 by 2 by 1, and that's so the perfect size. You could actually make it a 1 by 1 by 1 now I'm thinking about it. So you can actually have it spawn in the box if you wanted to. But also, this is one thing that is important in commands. If you want to, you can turn off your, let's see, your command block output false so that you don't get a bunch of chat spam, and then there's other feedback for command block feedback, and then you also turn that to false if you don't want that. But sometimes it is useful. Also, if you want your commands to work throughout the world, you can add a ticking area add circle with a radius of 4, named JOCKEY true, and that's just preload true. That's what that is. And so this is the set lives. So this is how I pulled it off. So each time he spawns in, I automatically set his lives to 3, so he knows he has 3. So basically it says execute as a name equals JOCKEY at s unless entity at s scores equal lives equals 0 or more. That's what the 2 dots mean. It has to be 2 dots. It can't just be 1. Run scoreboard players set at s lives 3. So that basically just, sets his lives to 3, so he knows he has 3 lives. And then this is, I reused this from my random mob loop video, also from some commands from Guppy Ducks, but I modified it, but I'll still give him credit. Execute as at e name equals JOCKEY at s, run replace item entity at s, tag equals unless totem, scores equal lives unless 0, slot.weapon.offhand 0, totem on dying. So if he, basically if it's, he, or it says, unless he has the tag of totem, don't give him the totem on dying is basically what that says. And also, I think that was, yeah, lives 0. It won't give him a totem if he has 0 lives. And also, this is going to be always active conditional chain. And I think, yeah, this is okay. Death detect. This is also reused from Guppy Duck's video. Tag at e name equals JOCKEY. Tag equals unless totem, add totem. So basically, if it basically detects when it has a totem. So once the command below it gives it a totem, it will replace it with a totem, and then the creature will have a totem of a dying, so it has another life. And then this is a timer. I don't remember if this was necessary, but I'm pretty sure it was. This was just as a fail-safe, just in case things didn't work, for the lives subtract, which I'll get into a minute. Execute if entity at e, name equals JOCKEY, has entity item equals totem, scores equal lives equals 3, run scoreboard players at add at e, name equals JOCKEY, time 1. So, if the it counts each second, the JOCKEY has 3 lives basically, and then this is the similar thing for this, except you change this value if it has 2 lives, and then set 2 lives, and then this one I think is the same. And then death detect should be the same, and then the timer is different because if it has 2 lives, add time of 1, and then this one set lives 1. This one's a bit different, lives 1, and then unless entity lives 0, run scoreboard player set as life 1, give totem. Yep, that, and sorry, I don't want to read all these out. I'm just pausing just in case you want to look at all of them. Okay. And this is the, oh, I forgot to mention this. This is important, but this is the, well, actually, it works out fine. What is this? Okay, this was just a test. So this is the loot. So this is going to be loot one. I don't remember which one I put in here, but you need to have this for each one, unless you want to do something else where you can just say execute at player or some other trick. But this is the way I figured it out. You know, it drops loot on the ground. If you don't want him to pick up stuff, then you could just replace an item with his hand with I don't know, a sword or something, or a block, and then you won't pick up an item. I just wanted it to look better, so I didn't have that. So that's loot 1, and you need to do loot 2 and loot 3. Of course, you can name this whatever you want. I just find it easier in my commands to do that. So now we have lives subtract 1. So basically, if he has 3 lives, it tries to detect if he lost a life. So execute as he name equals check the jockey scores lives equals 3 at s scores lives unless 2 run scoreboard players remove has item equals totem quantity is 0. So if they don't have a totem, um, then it will remove the one life, and it only works if there's the time score is 1 or more, so it detects it actually has a totem, and that was a fail-safe. And I think it might have helped. I don't know. I walked through a lot of this, so I don't. And then this is going to be execute as a at s if entity at e name equals chicken jockey. Sorry, that wasn't as enthusiastic. Sorry. Chicken jockey scores equals lives equals 2, radius of 30, run structure load 3. So that will load loot 3 at the player's location. And I don't know, I think you might need to do at P, because if you're doing multiplayer, um, it might give it to multiple people. If that's fine, keep it as it is, but otherwise you might need to change it. Okay, and then to remove the totem tag, and also this is chain conditional always active. All of these are. They look with the green with an arrow. And this is the remove totem. So execute as e names equals chicken jockey scores equals lives unless 0 at s run tag at s has item equals totem quantity equals 0 remove totem. So it just removes the tag totem, so it gives them a new one when it gets 2 lives. After it's detects it doesn't have a totem, and then this is Resetti Spaghetti. I really like the name. I stole that from Harborcraft, but anyway, that name. But scoreboard players reset at E, name equals checker jockey, scores equals time equals 1 time. So it resets the timer, and then these are basically the same. Don't ignore these, by the way. These don't matter. This was just a test. But execute, yeah, we've already went over this, but you have to, these specific values are very important. These two, this is really only the things you have to change, and then the same for this, you have to change the loot number, the number of lives, and then reset spaghetti, and then it resets the time. If the time equals 1, I don't know why I did that, but just keep it as it is, because this thing could break very easily. And then this is the same, change lives 1 unless 0, time 1 or more. And then, let's see, okay, this one's different. So execute as if entity name equals chicken jockey, scores equals lives equals 0 to 1. That's what this means. Radius of 30, run structure load loop 1. And then remove the totem tag unless the lives are 0, because you don't want to give them another totem and have them go on forever, because that would just be overpowered. And then you could reset spaghetti again, and then you reset the score time. I think that was the same for everyone. I don't know why I thought, yeah, I thought the command was different, but I was wrong. Well, that is it, unless I missed something that happens sometimes. No, I don't think I did. Did I go everything? Yeah, these aren't important. You don't need to worry about this, and this is not important. And if you want to, if I made a mistake, check either a pinned comment or something. If you want to learn how to make a smoke bomb, like, oh, never mind. Like Batman. Check out my newest video, how to make custom tools too, and also watch my first one because that one's also great. But anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.